So recently I got a Sentro knitting machine, and this is the video of me making my very first Sentro machine knitting sweater. So initially I thought to do something like this, but in crochet, but I started it and I could see that it's going very slowly because the yarn is so thin. So I thought it might be a good project to try with Sentro machine, because I do need quite a few panels and just to work out the sizing and everything. So let's get on with it. So first things first, I cast it on the Sentro machine. Actually it took me quite a while to learn how to do that, because in the beginning it just kept falling off and I was scared that my machine is somehow broken, but then after watching some videos I realized how to do that. And after you cast it on, it's actually extremely easy because you're just basically spinning the wheel back and forth and back and forth. So the first thing that I did was the panels for front and back. I think I am done with this panel. I can count it multiple times, but I think it's time to take it off. Let's just do... I was thinking to maybe do... I saw some people do it with crochet hook, just as normal. Do like a slip stitch to make it to roll up less, but I'm thinking I might just do a normal cast off with needles. But first, I just need to kind of catch all the loops, all the stitches. So I'm just taking some black yarn. That hopefully, well, it's different from this purple one. This one here. So it will be easier to see it when I can just do a cast. While taking off the panel of the Sentro machine, I was moving one peg at a time, because I could, each time if I tried to undo all of them, the stitches would just fall off for me, and it was just so much hassle. So I tried to do one at a time to minimize the stitch falling for me. And first panel is taken off, and I did the exact same for the black one as well. So it was 112 stitches, and you know, just going back and forth in a panel mode. So both panels for the back are done, and I counted the stitches, and it should be maybe one off, but this purple seems much longer, well, not much longer, but longer than the black one, like by quite a bit. So I don't know what happened, because I did count it quite a few times. We'll see when I sew them together. Maybe I can fix it somehow, I don't know. Because I'm putting a collar on, so I can maybe kind of hide additional stitches behind. We will find out. But yeah, so now I want to do the front panels, so it's kind of gonna be the same. But because I have done a setup before, but I have done nothing here, I think I need to do maybe a bit slight like neckline. So I need to do kind of some decreases, and then hopefully that works out. And yeah. So probably, as you can tell from this video, most what you do with Sentro machine is just spin the wheel non-stop. So as I said, I'm trying to do some decreases for the front panels for the neckline. So I would kind of, when I reached around 100 stitches, so around 12 left to do, well, according to my calculations, I would do from one side, I would do decreases, so I would go kind of put one stitch over another, you know, like you would knit them together if it was actually, if you would be knitting with hands. So I would just try to do that. Like it kind of worked, like you can definitely see it being diagonal a little bit. It's just, I don't know if it was the correct way to do it, but that's how I did it. So after the panels were done for the main part, all I had to do was sleeves, which was probably my most fun thing to do because all you do is cast on and just spin in circles. There's no back and forth, kind of trying to see that the edge stitches stay on. This is probably the fastest sleeve I have done. It's been like 20 minutes and literally I'm done. Just need to take it off now. What I also learned that if the thinner the yarn, the easier it is to work with the Sentro machine, because if the yarn is thin enough, it doesn't drop any stitches because it is hard for the pegs to pick it up and kind of do its thing. After all the parts were done, I actually decided to do slip stitches with my crochet hook. So I recently got a tapestry crochet hook, so it's basically just a long needle with a crochet hook on one end, and you can see a little kind of stopper on the other end so I would not lose any stitches, and I just collected all the stitches and did like a normal slip stitch, and that I did to everything, my sleeves, my sweater panels, just to kind of make that edge nice. After that was probably the longest process to sew all the pieces together. So, because each panel, at least for front and back, was over 100 stitches. I was doing the invisible seam, so I need to go for each stitch nicely. So it took me a while, like for each back and front, it was quite a long time. And then after, as you can see here, so the front panels, when we were sewn together, it just looked like a big bag. I don't know, I wasn't happy, but I was, oh, it's fine, just trust the process. And for the sleeves, I said, like I did before, around 100 stitches for each sleeve. But then, as you can see in this video, clearly it was way, way too long. So I needed to redo the sleeves, but it was fine because it was quite fast. And it was shorter, so I did actually 83 stitches for each sleeve. And then after that, again, just sewing everything together. For the collar and the edging, I just did a big strip of half double crochets and I sewed it on as well. So at last I have finished sewing it. I actually done this edge like at least 3 times because I kept being it either too snug or too wide. It's just because the sweater itself is very wide compared to what my usual sweater should be. So it is a bit difficult, and now I don't think I like the length that much. I don't know. I tried it on yesterday evening and it was a bit worse than what I see it now. But I think I might crop it. Because if I crop it, like if it's a bit shorter, never mind these loose threads, I think it looks a bit nicer. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just my preference, but so I think now I need to do it hopefully the last time and just I will cut it, and maybe if I'm successful I might not do any ribbing. I just do like the normal edge and just leave it loose, like kind of all the same as the sleeves, and hopefully that will be it. This has been such a big journey, like the whole thing just to make the panels with Sentro machine was quite easy, with just sewing everything and adjusting and figuring out how it works because it's so wide. I don't know, it's quite a lot, and I really hope that this will be the last bit to do and I will be finished. At first I tried to do the right way and collect the stitches first and then cut it, but I somehow just went diagonal, so I could not keep the straight line, and then I was just like, it's okay, and I just cut it like there's no tomorrow, and I thought, I'll try to catch the stitches somehow. So after cutting it, I just did the same kind of thing that I did when I'm taking it off Sentro machine. I would just kind of catch each stitch with the needle, and then later on did the same thing as did a slip stitch with a crochet hook. And then after it was done at last, it took me much longer than I imagined. And I am quite very happy how it turned out. It definitely is not the same as the picture that I showed in the beginning, but I do like how it turned out. I do prefer the short version much more. It's definitely not perfect, but for the first sweater made on something new, I'm quite happy. So that's my little journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the future videos.